YouTube, Seraphin here again, and today we are doing another Ocarina video. Today I am going to be reviewing one of my designs again, so we are going to talk a little bit more art heavy. Oh, and before I do want to make a quick apology to Silent Mochi. I realized that the video I had done for you with one of your requests didn't get uploaded, so I will be redoing that. The reason that it's taken me a second is because it was actually like an on-site trip one. But I will do it again. I have a song coming for you specifically, so it is coming. Anyway, as I was saying, I am reviewing one of my designs, which means, again, a bit more art heavy. I'm going to explain my kind of process of creating it, and actually I've got a little bit of a unique twist to it. Today, the ocarina that I will be talking about is the Lightning Ocarina here. So, to start off real basic, this ocarina is a little bit smaller than your standard alto C, tenor C size, the Link size, I usually say, because this is a soprano F, so a little bit higher pitched, again, than your traditional Link size, Ocarina of Time size. This is the last of my Element series to be released, mostly because it was the most difficult to design, in my opinion. It took a lot of rewrites and redos and retries and all sorts of things. I do think it's now one of the more successful ones, but lightning is a hard thing to capture in a solid object. Like drawing, it's one thing, but having like a physical manifestation is definitely a difficult thing. And I'm going to hopefully walk you through what I was thinking with this guy. First and foremost, I think the broad thing to look at is the Element series in general. There are obviously the classic elements like Earth, Wind, Water, Fire, but we wanted to do a full set, so I needed to expand beyond that. And so some people ask me, like, why did you do Shadow? Why did you do this? The reason is I actually took inspiration from video games, particularly the spells work of video games. So the other common ones are lightning, ice, shadow, and light magics. There are a lot of magics. I get it. But I chose actually 8 ones, and light ended up getting eliminated, which I'll tell a story about that another time. But those other 3 are the ones that I filled in, and it actually felt really good and solid. So video game magic is where the extra elements and where the whole set came from initially. Now, when I was first designing them, some of them did come to mind really easy, like fire and earth. I basically just drew them immediately, like I knew what they were supposed to be. But then there were ones like water and lightning that it didn't click at first. Water was kind of, I'll talk about water more when I actually review that one. That one was both easy and hard in certain ways, but lightning was my struggle. I did try immediately with that one, but like I said, it ended up being the last one I completed. The first big version of it was actually a lot more like geology based, because I was again getting inspiration from video games, and I felt like a lot of lightning and storm magic actually manifested itself in crystals. Maybe that's just the games I'm playing, but it made sense to me a lot, and seeing those kind of jagged shapes of crystals did then speak to me as lightning as well. So I actually have a prototype of my first design. It did not go through, and nobody else saw lightning when they saw it. I do think the colors are way off, so please don't judge me on that. They were meant to be a lot more like how the lightning is now. And while I don't think that it does read lightning like I had hoped it would, I still like the design, and I feel like maybe we might use some of these ideas later on down the line. But I did want to show it off a little bit. So the idea here was it was almost a geode, like crystalline, growing out of a base gray stone here. I would have wanted this gem bit to be a lot more purple, a lot darker, a lot more blue, as opposed to this more maroony violet that we've got going on. And the gray here would want to be a bit more stone looking. to kind of get what I was saying there. But as I said, nobody else really saw what I saw with this. And, retrospectively, I totally understand that too. I do still see my vision here, but I also get that the vast majority of people don't see that. So while I do like it, it's not Lightning. So I kind of went back to the drawing board and thought more about what it is that Lightning said to me. And I tried to look a bit broader to storms. So that is where this kind of fuzzy textured bit came from here. It was a bit more of the cloud work of a big, like, violent storm. And be kind of fuzzy, almost static-like. And when I thought of static, like, my teacher used to call it bug races when we'd watch movies. That made me think electricity. And electricity is actually where these silver band ideas came from. While the silver type idea is also the lightning, the light itself. Obviously, lightning is very random and, like, crackly. This is not. This is very regular. What this was actually inspired by was thinking of electricity on an atomic level. So I'm getting real sciencey here, I know. So if you imagine those scientific, like, diagrams of the neutron, like the atoms with the neutron in the middle and the protons, and then the paths of the electrons, this is meant to be the electron paths here. So that's where this idea came from. And then another big question I get a lot with a lot of the elements, but probably especially with the lightning, is the color. Like, why purple? And there's a couple reasons, some of them better than others. Probably the stupidest reason, honestly, is we didn't have a purple, and I wanted one. But being a bit more, like, fitting into the theme, purple, I find, is often used as the color of storm, lightning, thunder, magic in video games. So that was, like, why I felt very justified and felt like it fit very, very well. And I also think that just storms in general are often depicted as being a violet, purple, deep, dark something. I think it's a bit more threatening than just a straight up dark blue, and a lot more interesting than black and gray. It gives a little bit more texture. I think it also, in some sense, storms are meant to be like a really threatening thing when they're used narratively, and the introduction of that red color, I think, teases you with a bit of hope for the end, like the dawn after the night sort of idea. So I'm getting very, very, like, poetical about it, but again, that was the idea there. So now, when I'm demoing this here, I do find, before I demo, let me talk a little bit about just the overall structure. It's a little bit smaller, obviously, because it's a Brano F. It's a little bit higher. I find personally that Fs are not my favorite type of ocarina, but I do really enjoy the lightning. It just, for that particular key, is not my forte, but I do tend to play very specific songs on it that I think sound the best. If you've seen me at a convention, I usually say Harry Potter works really, really well. And also just fits, Harry Potter, Lightning Bolt, it's cool. I am not going to be playing Harry Potter today. I'm actually going to be playing a song from a podcast. I've been listening recently to this Dungeons and Dragons podcast that I am really, really enjoying. The overall story, they're going into their second season now, I guess. But it has ended, and so I'm catching up. I'm only about halfway through. It's called The Adventure Zone, and it's fantastic. You should totally go watch it, or listen to it, not watch it, because that's not how podcasts work. But I just got to the Crystal Kingdom story chapter arc thing, and it has a song that has some foreshadowing lyrics in it, but it's really, really pretty, and I found that it sounded really, really good on the lightning, and it kind of, for me, is a little bit, I guess, on the nose, because, as I said, the original kind of crystalline inspiration of it fits really, really well with it. So that's what I'll be playing for you today, the Crystal Kingdom song that's written by Griffin McElroy, and it's really, really pretty, and I hope you enjoy. So let me just bring that up, and I will get started. Here we are. are. So, like I said, that was the Crystal Kingdom song from the Adventure Zone Dungeons and Dragons podcast that everybody should go listen to. Fantastic. Played on the Lightning Ocarina from STL Ocarina, one of the Seraphim designs. I will be doing all the elements eventually, but this one just kind of fit with where I was at right now. If you enjoyed, let me know, send me comments, tell me more songs, tell me more ocarinas, just talk to me. It's great. I love you all, and I hope to hear from you very, very soon. Bye!